Hi, this is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, and I'm here with another Friday Reads, a holiday Friday Reads in the middle of the week between Christmas and New Year's. I've been seeing and enjoying everyone's end of 2022, beginning of 2023 videos. Unfortunately, as usual, I am way behind. I know some things need to change this year. I can't keep up. I'm doing too much. But I really enjoy videos and the YouTube community, the Booktube community. I still really enjoy my blog and the community there. But I just last week wrote my first review for December. So that's how far behind I am. I am going to try to do a little catching up this week, but it'll probably be at least next week before I can get to wrapping up 2022 and looking forward to 2023. In the meantime, I'll tell you about what I'm reading right now. I am currently reading a seasonal book, The Matzo Ball by Jean Meltzer. So this is an unusual book for me. It's a romance, and I don't normally read romances. And it is a seasonal themed, a holiday themed book. And I don't normally read those either. But this is a very special book for me and for millions of other people. The Matzo Ball is a rom-com written by an author who has the same immune disorder that I have, ME/CFS. And her main character, Rachel, also has ME/CFS. And what's unusual about that is everything. In the past, even though this disease is very widespread, before the pandemic, there were about 2 million of us in the US, many more worldwide. Now, because many people with long COVID develop ME/CFS. It's an immune disorder often triggered by an infection. There are now, I saw an estimate of 20 million in the US. But because it's a disease that is poorly understood by the general medical community and by the general public, we never see ourselves in fiction or movies or things like that. So this is wonderful, a huge breakthrough as far as I'm concerned. But also, so far, I'm really enjoying it, and it's a fun book. I do enjoy a rom-com once in a while, and this one has a fun premise to it. Rachel, the woman in the novel with ME/CFS, is a romance writer. She is specifically a Christmas romance writer. She has written a string of best-selling novels, she has written screenplays for Christmas movies, for like Hallmark and things like that. She's very successful in this, but she's Jewish. She comes from a very Jewish family. Her father is an internationally well-known rabbi in New York, and her family would be so upset if they knew what she did. So she writes with a pen name. No one in her life except her best friend knows what she really does for a living. She just tells people generically, I'm a freelance writer. And so that's the premise here. And then the big twist is she's had all this success writing Christmas romances, and she meets with her publisher in December, and they say, we want something different this year. We want you to write a Jewish romance. We're trying to be more diverse. And she is so enamored with the magic of Christmas and has been since she was a child. And she doesn't think that Hanukkah has any of that magic to it. So she's looking for a way into this story. She's really kind of backed into a corner. She has to write this book, and she's not sure what to do. So that's the premise here. Of course, there is a man. In this case, her arch nemesis from Jewish summer camp when she was 12 years old. He is hosting the Matzo Ball Max. Apparently this is a thing. There are lots of matzo balls, a Hanukkah celebration. But he is like throwing the biggest, most spectacular matzo ball that's ever been conceived of before. And because she's looking for ideas for her book, she wants a ticket to it. But she hates him. So, you know, it's one of those tropes from romance novels. But I am enjoying it so far. It's well written. It's entertaining. I don't want to put you off by the chronic illness aspect of it. She deals with it very matter-of-factly here, which is something else I really love. We need more inclusion like this. It's not just ME/CFS. There are so many people all over the world living with invisible illnesses, disabilities that aren't obvious to people around them. And it's wonderful to see this inclusion. She is just a woman trying to, you know, pull off this job. There's a man. This is just your basic rom-com, only the main character happens to have this chronic illness. So it's funny, it's entertaining, and, you know, and you also get a peek into this hidden world that most people don't know about. So I'm really enjoying The Matzo Ball by Jean Meltzer. And I am hoping to finish this by New Year's Day so that in the blogging world, there's a first book of the year meme that goes around. So I am hoping to start a new book on January 1st, but we'll see. This one's been going slow only because it's been Christmas. And I have been so insanely busy. And by the time I get to bed at night, so insanely exhausted that my reading time has been minimal, but I'm hoping to make up for some of that this week. On audio, I am listening to one last audiobook of the year. I picked out a shorter novel that I could fit in. It's called Now Is Not the Time to Panic by Kevin Wilson. So I've listened to a couple of other Kevin Wilson novels. I really like his humor, the way that he kind of digs into humanity while also having a sense of humor. So this is a coming-of-age novel. It's about a teenage girl named Frankie. She lives in a small town in Tennessee. She's got triplet brothers who are a little bit older than her. Her mom's a single mother. And because her father left them for another woman who he had another baby with, who he also named Francine, nicknamed Frankie. So yeah, it's all a little weird. But that's Kevin Wilson. He is always a little weird. And that's part of what makes his novels so much fun. In this case, Frankie feels kind of out of place. She's never really felt like she belonged at school or with the other kids or in her town. And then this one summer when she's 16, she meets a teen boy named Zeke. Now, Zeke lives in Memphis, but he's spending the summer with his grandmother in the same town that Frankie lives in. And he also kind of feels out of place. So the two of them sort of bond. Frankie wants to be a writer, and Zeke is really into art. So Frankie's been working on this mystery novel, kind of an anti-Nancy Drew sort of thing. And so they start hanging out together this one summer. It's just the two of them. They decide to create something together using her writing and his art. And they work together to create this sort of off-the-wall small poster. And it's just got a few lines of text on it that Frankie has written, but it's like some really bizarre stuff. And so just kind of on a lark, they make copies of this and hang it all over town. Well, it ends up creating quite a stir. So that's kind of where I am right now. Their poster is starting to attract attention, but not the kind of, ooh, cool art attention that they had hoped for. More like, people think it's Satan worshipers, or there's all kinds of things starting to happen. So I am really enjoying Now Is Not the Time to Panic by Kevin Wilson. And that's what I'm reading this week between Christmas and New Year's, trying to get a little extra reading time in, but also trying to catch up with videos and on my blog. I would love to hear what you're reading this week. Let me know in the comments down below. Click the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to my channel.